Soccer City. Welcome into the post-game show. Danny Brams. I'm John Hayes. We're here to Danny Brams commiserate. I'm looking at the final score here. It's 4-1, Orlando. Danny. Cheers to you. Do you have something that we could take the edge off a little bit after that?
Johnny, welcome to Soccer City. How you doing, brother? I got something to take the edge off, man. I got something strong, and you're right. It is a 4-1 final. And I poured just about the tallest bourbon that I've had in 2026. I think I don't know if we're how many fingers how many fingers am I holding up? It's so dark. It's so dark that holding that bourbon in front of my camera affected made my auto lighting settings go nuts. Welcome, Johnny. It is so good to be here. And I made this stiff drink for this show, and it got me thinking. And you know, I'm always about my songs, my lyrics. And I wanted to start this show with the song because the tall, stiff drink is what kind of gave me the inspiration for it. I'm going to sort of thematically explore some of the stuff I want to talk about, this club and this team and this performance. Going to go back. I know I love the Big Lebowski. I love the dude. I practice dudeology. I cannot agree with the dude when he says he hates the Eagles. I love the Eagles, and I love the song Lyin, Johnny, and I'm going to transpose the genders here. I'm just going to say, he gets up and pours himself a strong one and stares out at the stars up in the sky. Another night, it's going to be a long one. He draws the shade and hangs his head to cry. I'm hanging my head with my strong one, Johnny.
Cheers to that. Cheers.
And I'm staring up at the stars up in the sky, and I'm staring at the stars on the field, and I just want to cry with what I've seen from Charlotte FC tonight.
You can't hide those lion eyes. And
Dino can't hide his lying eyes. This team has been hiding lying eyes, and I think that's what tonight's performance exposed. If we want to talk about big picture, I want to mostly deal with raw emotions, but I think we can also talk big picture just about what this result reveals about the true character of this team and some performances and some results that have been kind of shaky and just how much Christian Kalina has been keeping the team in the season. And when he wasn't there to stop every shot tonight, you see what happens.
I want to hear from the soccer citizens, the folks in the chat, the people that are watching on YouTube. If you're watching on X, welcome to the show this evening at Soccer City. We're happy to be here. It's a post-game show. Not a score line that we're very much interested in talking about, but we are interested in hearing who speaks after this game. You know, Dino will speak, and this is one of those matches, Danny, where we know the captain, Ashley Westwood, will probably step to the microphone and deal with the questions from the media.
Oh, yeah, 100%. When it comes time to send someone out to face the music, not the Danny Brams music, but the we just got our asses kicked music. It's Ashley Westwood, and they always send him out to do the talking, and that's what's going to happen. So we'll see. We've got people, friends of the show, are in the Dino press conference. We'll be checking out social media reaction to get on there. We want to sort of mix in this show, this post-game reaction that we're doing. Thank you for everyone who's checking in already. Get your comments in there. We're going to react to them. We're going to make this a conversation with the social media, with the comments in the chat, with everything. And just, again, Johnny, the first question I want to ask you is, am I overreacting? And is my takeaway that this 4-1 loss at the home of the worst club in the league, does that overrule the gritty, gutsy win in New York? Does that overrule some of the eke-out performances that they've gotten? You know, even the draw against St. Louis was gutsy, even though it was a poor performance. And some of the other big wins, and the 6-1 against Red Bulls, was that flattering to deceive? Who knows? What's the real identity of this team? The results have been all over the board.
They have, and in a microcosm, it's this. It's tonight's result. We have to fixate on that because that just happened, and it's a 4-1 absolute blowout, and it's a no-show. It was an opportunity for this club to take 3 points. It's great to hear from Jorge in the chat. He says, as my people would say, that was no bueno. That was no good. Of course it wasn't, because it's 4-1. You didn't show up on the road. Orlando was 1-9. 1 win, 9 losses heading into that match. Worst team, not just in the East, but in MLS as a whole. So going into the match, we said, and our thumbnail for the episode says what? It says no excuses. And there's no excuses tonight, but I have to say one thing. I love to see this, and I'm going to celebrate it for a second. I'm looking here, and I'm seeing one thing. Look at this. there's an Ajamong on the score sheet for Charlotte.
Wait a minute. Did we just take a trip back in time to when Charlotte couldn't defend and Ajamong was our only goal scorer? This is insane.
As much as things change, Danny, they stay the same. There's an Ajamong on the score sheet for Charlotte FC, and Morrison Ajamong tonight was absolutely fantastic, wasn't he, Danny?
He was. He got himself on the score sheet with a fighting his way for a header on a beautiful in-swinging Pep Biel curler off a free kick. It was a wonderful, magical pass from Pep. It was a wonderful fight to the finish from Morrison Ajamong right there, and he tried to do again. He rose up for another header moments later, almost gave Charlotte a 2-1 lead before halftime, which really would have been cool. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And Johnny, there's a saying that we say on this show a lot, and I think it might be time to reconsider it because I'm getting some word. I've already teased this. I've promised that we're going to have some reaction from. We assume Westwood, we know Dean, anyone who's talking, we're going to see the post. We might get some video clips. But I just got a text from someone who's at the Dean presser. This person will remain anonymous. But they just said Dean starts his opening conference by saying he thinks they played better tonight than they did against NYC, which is such a stupid coach thing to say. I'm sorry, but it's such a I thought we were better in the loss than we were in the win. I just think that's so dumb. It's like trying to be contrarian for contrarian's sake, and doesn't make any sense to me. And so we always say this on the show. I love to pop up the picture. Dino's at the wheel from Coachella and everything. But unfortunately, Johnny, I think we have to adjust that at least for one night. Because when Dino's at the wheel, this is pretty much what happened. Is that we were headed around the corner here on a midweek matchup to the worst team in the league, and woo, flying off the cliff. It just went careening. Wasn't good. I'm getting more text that says for long stretches, Dino thought we were the better side tonight. That's just not what fans want to hear. And I get that it's not Dean's job to tell fans what they want to hear. He should say what he really thinks. But if he really thinks that, I mean, come on, man. It's lion eyes, Johnny. He's trying to hide those lion eyes as far as I'm concerned. I don't like it.
No, Danny. I mean, Dino. He's at the wheel, right? He's at
right.
the wheel, and he's somebody that's going to continue to manage this club. But what I'll also say is that he should have taken an Uber home. That's what Dino should have done. He should have taken an Uber. He should have just called for the Uber. He's not, he should have made sure David Schnee got the start. He should have really changed up the lineup, played guys that were motivated to play in Orlando, treated it like a cup match, but instead he treated it like an MLS fixture. And the guys showed up. There was nobody in the stands. There was nobody there. And the atmosphere was totally flat, and this team played totally flat because of that. I think Dino made a big mistake by starting his first 11. He should have had players. Yes, Privet was in the lineup. Ream was not. I think that made a huge difference tonight. That's for sure. Luca De La Torre was in the lineup as well, Danny. That made a difference. And those two players, why don't you talk about their impact on the match tonight?
I think Luca is a problem.
The table, as we now look at the table, if I could.
Yeah, you call up the table, and I'll just talk about how Luca is easily one of the bigger disappointments of the year. This is a guy that was our big offseason signing, brought in to be someone who would increase connectivity in the midfield, someone who would help that transition from back to front, someone with pedigree, with skills, a guy who we were told was going to come in and be another anchor in the midfield, sort of like a guy that was going to work right hand in hand with Westwood and somehow be better than Bronico. Well, he finally got, it's like Dean had to give him a start tonight. He's worked his way into a sub role so far, and I wasn't too impressed, and I want to be impressed. I like Luke. I think he's a really cool kid. His introductory press conference was probably one of my favorite intro press conferences of any new Charlotte FC player in 4 years of this club, but I just think he's not delivering on the pitch, and something just doesn't look right when he's out there. Love to hear what the commenters, what the citizens see and believe from Luca. Paul D109 checking in. He had high hopes, and he's not seeing it. We're just not seeing it.
Danny,
I'm not seeing it, Johnny.
Let's call him out. We got a lot of new folks in the chat this evening. Thanks so much for
welcome.
Tonight. Post match, so make sure you share your thoughts in the chat, and that's where we are on the table. Fifth right now on the live table. Orlando City up into the 11th position. 3 points. That's what 3 points does for you, ladies and gentlemen. 3 points vaults Orlando City up from bottom of the East temporarily, of course, in
Yeah.
11th place. So 3 points wasted for sure for Charlotte tonight.
Well, do any of those teams below them play us soon? So, for the chance to jump? I mean, that's where I'm at right now. Is that despite Charlotte's lofty perch up near the top of the East, and I think we were top 3 going into this match, right after the win against New York, it's just been kind of fool's gold, and I've been nervous for this team much more so than I've been confident in this team. At moments, the 6-1 win against Red Bulls notwithstanding, which, a red card had to be seen to play a part in that. And actually, if I look back, I want to check. Charlotte FC has had the benefit of multiple opponents taking reds against them this year to the point where it has helped the results. Austin got a red, Red Bulls got a red. In 2 of Charlotte's biggest wins, it's because they're going against 10 men. I think an interesting tweet, and I'll let you. I have an interesting tweet that I want to queue up, but first you've got a point you're looking to make on Luka, so let's have at it on your analysis on this heat map here.
Your analysis was very good, and for some reason we're getting more audio feedback. That's a bit on the show. That's why we're McLean's Minecraft. Thank you so much.
Someone said Danny speak up, so my bad. So I started to eat the mic more. We'll find the happy medium. I apologize, McLean's. Thanks for checking in.
It's a great bit. It's a fun bit on the show, and I really enjoy also that my there we go. Perfect. There we go. That we can potentially change that, and that's what we like on the fly. It's a bit on the show because we're mixing in real time virtually. But the point about Luka, Danny, is that like he was all over the place, and I wanted you to take a look at his stats and tell me what you thought, because you were making a lot of good points, and I just wanted to showcase exactly what was happening here and give you a chance to break down these.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any accurate long balls. 3 passes into the final third that I don't think any of them connected. His defense. We have a commenter who said Luka doesn't defend. He's got 2 defensive contributions. You need more from that in a midfield. The guy that you're calling your 6/8 hybrid needs to have more than 2 defensive contributions. I mean, I think Kerwin Vargas had 2 defensive contributions as a sub winger. So I mean, that's not getting it done. Clearance, interceptions, I would like to see more. It's a tricky stat because sometimes you don't get credit for it. But ball recoveries, I think, is actually a better stat, and he's winning the ball back. The problem is that we just couldn't keep it, and Orlando was getting it back. Every time. So great comment from Shoggy there. We love you, Shogs.
I think I try to turn my mic up. Let's see. Hopefully that helps on the stream. But Danny, it's great analysis though. Look at that. Look at those numbers. I mean, they're not very good. And that's why I wanted to bring those numbers up because you were doing the analysis, and I wanted to be like, yo, my guy's really breaking it down, and look at the numbers. They back it up. So cheers to you, Danny. That's great analysis. What else do you have tonight?
Well, we talk about analysis, and again, there's many people. The good thing about being a Charlotte FC fan is you are never alone. That we got a big fan base. We got a lot of people that like to comment and speak on this club. And Caleb Adams, who's someone that we frequent his analysis quite a lot. And he said in a long post here, which we probably won't be able to read the whole thing, but he's really just echoing some stuff that Taylor Twellman was saying on the broadcast towards the end of the match, which pretty cool that we got the A team. It was nice to get the full on, finally get some love from MLS and have the big broadcast team on our game. And there was a lot of eyes on Charlotte. And what Caleb says here is true. Sort of paraphrasing Taylor, that the place on the table is deceiving. It's not as good as it seems. Continuing to look incompetent on the road, incapable of controlling matches, zero evolution. These are play 2 rotated sides at home. Miami and Nashville can't get the job done. Travel to Orlando, concede 4 goals. It's just.
Wait, Danny, who is saying this? Is this Caleb?
This is Taylor. This is Caleb paraphrasing Taylor. I was listening to Taylor say this kind of stuff towards the end of the match. I don't know. In like the 85th minute or so, he was talking
so
like
this. This is something that he said on the broadcast.
Yes, correct.
Got it. Paraphrasing something that he said on the broadcast.
Yes.
Right.
And it's thoughts that I was having. It's like it's the Lyin eyes, Johnny. It's the Lyin eyes.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't agree with those comments. I don't.
Then why not?
I just think that it's an overreaction. I think that a lot of that is wrong. I think Charlotte has controlled games this year. I think Zaha has made an impact, and it's been a good season so far. And it was just a bad game tonight. Like That's kind of how I feel about it for sure at the moment, that it was just a bad game.
So are you saying Taylor and Caleb are being more emotional than even I am? I mean,
no, I understand. Like the good news is it's a Nashville match Saturday, which is going to be even more difficult, and there's a chance that Charlotte loses that one as well. This is what the club has been like, and that's okay. But there's been progress this year. I think tonight there was a wrong choice. Luka and Andrew Privet starting were not the right choices to put into the lineup. That's why we're saying, Dino, we put him at the wheel, and instead what happened is we just totally, treated this one like an MLS match. And instead we should have treated it like a cup match.
Right.
And there should have been, you have Rodolfo Loco, Danny. How many times is that? Like 3 matches in a row that. So let's talk about this. Like Rodolfo Loco starts the U.S. Open Cup match.
Yep.
Right. Then he starts over the weekend.
Yep, and against New York.
And then he starts on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
The midweek. It's 3 starts in a row. It's 3 starts, and that's an aggressive move. That's big decisions by the manager. And when Adolfo Loco was in the side for his 3rd straight match, I said, "What is happening here? Where's Kerwin Vargas? What other options does this team have on the right flank?" And it was super disappointing. And that's nothing against the young man. It's incredibly it's incredibly fortunate that Rodolfo has come into the side, because he offers depth at that position, Danny. But where's Kerwin Vargas?
Yeah, it's protect Kerwin Vargas at all costs. Kerwin Vargas contributed massively to the win against New York and gets sent back to the bench as his reward. I can't really see how that makes any sense. Having said that, Rodolfo Loco, I would have to say, for the first 15 minutes of this match, looked like he was going to absolutely take over MLS. He had 2 incredible plays to create chances that just most MLS wingers don't make. I was shocked at how he was able to beat double teams twice down the right wing and get himself into space in the box with like a clear sight of goal where he could either shoot or pass, and he fudged up like both chances. And it's like, oh man, like it's like, oh, if he just could have paid that off, because he did 2 amazing plays followed by 2 screw ups. And I was like, oh, damn it. And then he shows up with a low rating in the end, because you're going to get hurt more for the screw ups than you're going to get credit for the good play that led to those chances to screw up. So it's unfortunate. I really thought he was going to score or create a goal or 2 in the first 15 minutes, and then he just kind of fell off the map. And as you say, Johnny, 3 matches in a week. As Radiohead once sang, 2 jumps in a week. I bet you think that's pretty clever, don't you, boy? Dean thought he was pretty clever giving Rodolfo 3 jumps in a week, but it turned out to be the wrong move, because he completely ran out of gas and was ineffective.
The key number here is age, 19. Mm-hmm. And that's why I call out the statistics here, is because it's 3 starts in a row. He's 19 years old. He can handle that sort of thing. And I think Dean's using that to his advantage, and he has .26 expected goals. Not a lot of accurate passes here.
Yeah.
Not a ton of defensive contributions. Not 26 touches, only 4 touches in the box. We're not trying to microanalyze this young man. We're thrilled that he's in the lineup, and I'm excited for him to share the wealth on that right hand flank, because there's plenty to go around, and there's plenty of goals to come from the wingers, especially if Zaha moves out of the club, Danny. Especially if Zaha is somebody that leaves the club, there's going to be room for Rodolfo Loco. There's going to be room for Kerwin Vargas. There's going to be room for players. Pepiao can potentially go out on the wing. Luca De La Torre can go into the side. It seems like, and I saw something in the chat. I saw one of the soccer citizens say, like, I wonder if this is all related to Zaha eventually leaving the club. And I think it's a really great question. And it's Paul here, of course, on screen. You got it queued up. Of course you do. A great producer. You've got Paul on screen who asked the question. That is yes. Yes. Is the answer yes?
Of course it is. Yeah. Yeah. And I saw, you couldn't help but, if you were watching on TV, you couldn't help but see an extended shot walking into halftime when it was 1-1 still, of Zaha chewing out Morrison Ajimong for some unknown reason that I couldn't hardly tell. And he was probably saying, mate, I'm passionate, mate. I'm not going to change who I am. You know, this is how I play the game. You know, like, that's probably what he was saying. I don't know. I mean, that's my poor Wilf Zaha impression. But, like,
well, he didn't want to be there.
Why are you yelling at the only kid who's playing his ass off and scored the equalizer is my question.
Well, you should go watch the replay of the free kick goal that Orlando scored. And if you see the free kick goal, Danny, Wilf immediately looks at Toklamati and blames him for letting the ball get through the wall. And it's like immediate. And, you know, that can be his vibe sometimes, Danny. Yeah. And that's his vibe. And we called it the Wilfred Zaha experience. Yeah. And I think ultimately that's it's not one of the best nights for Charlotte FC. That's a great call by Jeffer. Yeah, Jeffergod, one of a Discord all-star for sure. Hey, I think another play where there was after the first two chances I referred to earlier, Aloko had a situation where he had the ball at midfield and he was fighting off a double team. And again, ended up drawing a yellow card in this instance. But before the whistle was even blown, he had fought off the defenders and sent a pass into space that Wilf Zaha gave up on. And someone said, you know, Level Up Luke says Zaha gave up on so many plays, looked like he was going through the motions. I don't know if the contract issue is part of that, but I noticed this play, and that's a play that Wilf 100% gave up on, and he felt it was more important to stop running and yell at the ref about a card that was being given anyway, instead of giving his effort before the whistle had blown and running into space and hoping a ball would get there, which it did thanks to Rodolfo Aloko. So I don't know. It's a situation where I am interested. We don't have to go back and forth over all that. One thing, a couple things. Another Taylor Twellman thing he said, which was about Zaha, and he says the price tag will be expensive, but I don't know what this team can do without a guy like Zaha on the team. So I mean, it's a good take. It is a good take. I mean, he got a reaction out of me. It's a good take. Taylor's doing his analysis. I think Caleb is did a nice job paraphrasing, but ultimately, I'm going to show you here now, Danny, why and how Charlotte lost this match.
Please.
This is so ultimately this is what happens. So now what we do is we're hanging out here, we're live, we appreciate the soccer citizens, we appreciate our TIFOs, the OGs, our tremendous friends of the show. And here now you get towards the end of the show, and you start to get the good stuff. This is it. Here's where Charlotte lost the match. And right here. Oh, there it is. Halftime. You come out of half. You give up a goal. 49th minute. That's fine. It happens. At that point, it's like, shit. We're gonna have to score again to draw. Yep. And I would have very happily come on this show tonight, Danny, and said to you, man, well, this is one of those nights where you just gotta love the draw, my friend. You got to take a point. You got to move on with your life. You know, you gotta move on. But instead, what happened was that there was no reaction. There was no reaction. The yellow card for Harry Toffolo, the 61st minute goal, and then finally, 12 minutes after that, they're finally the substitutions. Archie Goodwin, Kerwin Vargas, Brant Bronico all come in. This is the moment in the match where Charlotte FC lost, and it's because the manager didn't make the appropriate changes after the 2-1 goal. At that point, it was, oh shit, the plan is not going to work, and we need to treat this game like a cup match. Where are my substitutes? Get them in the game, and let's see if they can get 30 minutes.
Yeah, this is a sort of that 12-minute period condensed into about 15 seconds here, Johnny, for sure, no doubt. It's like Bridget says. She's still shaking her head that Dean came out on the post-game microphone and said he thought we played Mel, just let in a few goals. It's not what fans want to hear, and it's if there's anything that's making me question Dean Smith, it's not necessarily anything that happens in the match, and I don't like that slow subs, and I want to hear you go in even harder on that, but like I do sometimes question his gaslighting. It's like, Dean, don't tell me that it's raining when you're pissing on my leg, as they say. Like, we live in a world, Johnny, where truth is more ephemeral and ethereal and important than ever. And just John Lennon said, I'm sick and tired of all these mother effers. Just give me some truth, man. Just like, all I want is the truth, Dean. You should know it. You have some respect for us as a fan base to tell us the truth. And if you truly do think that we were great tonight and that we were better in a 4-1 loss against the worst team in the league than we were in a 2-1 win against the best team in the league, then you and I just don't see eye to eye on some certain things. But that math does not add up in any way, shape, or form.
It hurts my heart to hear you be critical of Dean on this show.
Had to do it.
It does. It hurts my heart. It's just one match, Danny. It's just one match. I was just pointing out exactly
but it's the reaction.
when it happened.
It's the reaction, Johnny.
The reaction is right. It's like this is a moment in the relationship that you're gonna have to deal with tonight. Yeah.
I mean,
and you know what the best part is? He showed up looking good. I've got maybe we get some video. His shirt was pressed.
he looked amazing. He always does.
He looked like he showed up for business. The problem is that he showed up for business.
My guy, Dino, so the light's in the way there. My guy, I love Dean. Dean is with me at all times. My favorite Christmas gift.
I mean, Danny. He's somebody that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. So Paul's commenter of the night so far. He's coming up with some great comments. Soccer Sid is the night. He says Dean is giving the politician answers.
What is that cube? That's a Dean Smith cube that he's just shown us.
It's a Dean Smith cube. It's a cube of Dean. Tracy got me this. It's just all deans, all the deans you could want.
The Villa Dean, like the
we got some Villa Dean. Yeah, of course. We got just took the job Dean. We got social media Dean.
Yes,
it's great. It's great.
Oh man, he's it's always. I think it's actually pretty fun when you're out and you've got one of those. You got your friend and he's like. You got to send him home. It's like, oh man, he's had a great time tonight. We got to send him home with the Uber. It's like, that's always a good time. He's
usually at the wheel. Tonight it's an Uber. Tonight it's an Uber because we certainly cannot have this happen. Definitely not. And but as Paul says, Dean is given the politician answers. Well, like John Lennon saying, John, I've had enough of reading things from neurotic, psychotic, pig-headed politicians. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. Tell us the truth, Dean. The truth always finds a way, as Matt Gesslin says. Len Kornacki, always a wise voice in this community, says, do you think he's just doing that to shield the criticism? Maybe, but then there's criticism to go around, and it's going to land on him because you can't say stuff like that. Johnny, I want to point something out. I want to say something that's going to just show the love of the TIFOs, of the soccer citizens. I'm going to go back. If you go back to the very start of this show, one of the first comments, this was at 9:48 p.m. Christian Stuyvesant says, I'm in bed already. It's like, okay, he's done. And then 38 minutes later, he's just Toklamati, 0 shots. So Christian did not go to bed. He's sticking with the show. He's here 30 minutes later after saying he was going to bed, still talking shit on Toklamati. I love to see that. Thank you for being a citizen, Christian. And Toklamati played horrible. That's the other overriding theme I'm seeing in a lot of comments, Johnny, is time for Archie Goodwin to start over Toklamati. What do you think?
No, I don't. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I don't think it's time. I think Archie has been playing very well, and. But I don't think it's time to make that overreaction. But there's a lot of matches, and I've been talking about squad depth secretly throughout this show, and doing it and trying to do it in a very casual way. But squad depth is incredibly important right now. This entire episode has been a theme of squad depth, who to start, who to play. It's what we talked about all morning. I thought David Schnegg should be in the starting lineup. I thought the lineup should have looked a lot differently. I think Toffolo looked like he was a little bit tired after playing a great match over the weekend.
Right.
And Luca De La Torre coming in there, that could have been a Diani.
Right.
And if you want to give Luca a chance, you put him up there at the 10 position and maybe move Pep out to the right wing for a Loco. And then you're much stronger. even though sometimes we don't love that. But hey, Danny, let me I've done so much analysis. Let's just see some of these quotes, if you don't mind. I'm gonna share this one specifically.
I don't mind. In fact, I'm happy.
This one is Carol Walton, of course, with Football Friday. Great newsletter. Make sure you subscribe. Dean says, quote, they score a toe poke from 25 yards where we've got players move out of the way last Saturday. We block shots like that because it's not a good chance. Second goal, we were in good possession. Morrison heads it away to them, and we don't recover as a team to get back to the edge of the box. Do you know what that sounds like, Danny?
I'm like,
it sounds like excuses to me. Like, it literally sounds like it's like
now,
they score a toe poke from 25 yards. Yeah. No, their goals were good goals.
Yeah. It was a worldy finish from a 19-year-old rookie, Luis Gustavo. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, getting scored on by a central defensive midfielder.
Dean's job is to protect the boys. What does that mean?
I don't know, but it doesn't mean no excuses, because that's an excuse. He came right out and started offering excuses, and it's like, every day something hits me up so cold. You find me sitting by myself, no excuses that I know, but Dean knows a few of them, because he's making the excuses to protect the boys. I'll buy that argument. If Dean was sitting here right now and he said, hey, listen, Danny, John, I love you guys, but like, can you lay off the criticism a little bit? I gotta say this stuff to protect. I don't want my players to catch it, so I'll take it onto me. If he told me that, then I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. That's reasonable. It doesn't make it any easier to hear for me as a fan, as someone who wants to see this club succeed and hear the real reasons why things aren't going the way they are. And Johnny, it's so funny because it's almost like the whole tone of everything changed, because you woke up this morning, we were talking, we were in contact most of the day, and you were so fired up. You were vibing. You were way higher up on this midweek match day than I was. I was like, the match day snuck up on me. I've had a busy week. I've had stuff going on. I can't believe it's match day. And you woke up and you're like, hey, guess what day it is? It's David Schnegg Day. It's David Schnegg Day. And it was like, you were convinced Schneggy was going to get the start, and we were going to rock Orlando, and it was going to be a showcase of how much squad depth Charlotte has built, and the ability to go get a guy like Schnegg, who isn't a starter but was going to shine tonight and be great. He ended up subbing in anyway. I don't know if you saw. Yeah, he did come in. So Toffolo's not even good to go a full 90. Why are you starting him? Like, start Schnegg. When the lineup dropped then at 6:30 and we see Schnegg's not in there, it's like everything changed. It's like it was almost like a switch went off for you. I feel like a little bit. I wasn't with you at the time, but I just feel like you were like, oh man, like everything that I had thought was going to happen has kind of been the rug pulled out, and now you're like, it's not like you lost excitement for the game, but it's just like it took a different tenor, if you will.
It certainly did, and I can't hide the Lyin eyes. I just can't, because that's how,
exactly.
I can't hide them, because that's how it is tonight. It was super disappointing, and I think it's great to have everybody here. It's great to have the citizens here, our soccer citizens. Thanks everybody for being in the chat, sharing what you think about the match. There's an opportunity, I think, for us to. And when I say us, I'm talking about the Crown. I'm talking about Charlotte FC fans. I think there's a chance to bounce back quick. I think there's a match on Saturday night in Nashville.
Yep. And
I think that's an opportunity for this club to bounce back quick. I think it's an opportunity for the guys to get out there on the pitch and get 3 points.
I totally agree, John. I think it becomes crucial to go up there, and we're playing the best team in MLS at their place now, and they're not going to bench their 3 super duper stars to start because they don't have to this time. So it's going to be a challenge. And the thing about this team, though, one thing that makes me optimistic is I don't like this identity for the squad, but it is the identity that they've kind of taken upon themselves, which is they play to the level of their competition. I think that's so frustrating as a fan, because it's nice to get the better results and better performances against tough teams, but it just sucks to see your squad struggle to put away shit teams like Orlando or rotated Miami or rotated Nashville, and you can go to New York and you can get a win against a team that was near the top of the East, and then you go lay an egg against Orlando with the same squad. It's frustrating for sure. I don't love it, but it's where we're at. And 6 days from now, Johnny, we play Atlanta in the Open Cup at the Matthews Sportsplex. So I don't know if now's the time to start talking about that. There's still more to dissect from this, but like I am kind of excited that. And does this result, the way I would frame the discussion is, does this result in anything it might have revealed about the true character of the team in the MLS League season? Does it focus your efforts on the Open Cup? Because we're 4 wins away from a trophy, Johnny. We're four for the crown, baby. 4 wins in the Open Cup gets you the first real trophy the club's ever had. I think that's worth playing for and focusing on. And what did tonight's lineup selection reveal to you about what we might see on that Tuesday night in Matthews that's coming up? And where are you at with the team going forward, Johnny?
Thanks for this tee up, because there's a lot to chew on here. I'm going to be quick. I'm going to be quicker than you because I've got a little bit of my beer left, which, by the way, I want to give a shout out. This is a brand new product. I know we're sponsored by Hopfly, but I want to give a shout out to Pally Pills. Pally Pills. It's a new label, brewed and canned by Divine Barrel. It's Pasta and Provisions' new Pilsner. It's a 5%er, and the tagline is Pasta Loves Company. And
Hey,
it's the Pally Pills. So I just want to say, hey, pal, to you tonight.
I love it. Thanks, pal.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite sounds on earth. Shout out to Matt Powers, who is in the comments. He's recognizing the lyrical references. He heard you say Lying Eyes, and he said Eagles, JH, nice. Must have missed the early part of the episode where we did the extended Lion Eyes breakdown. But also said Allison Chains DB when I did a few lyrics from No Excuses, which is the title of the episode, which unfortunately Charlotte FC came out with plenty of excuses tonight. But yeah, Lion Eyes, Matt Powers. I poured myself a strong one. I knew it would be a long one, and I hung my head to cry when I saw this result. That's why we've been talking about Lion Eyes tonight.
Just you can go to the front of the beginning of the stream, and you'll be able to see Danny sing that, not actually read it. So all of you who have joined us since then, that does exist. You just have to scroll towards the beginning of the stream where we had some fun to kick things off.
Watch it twice. Watch it twice and send it to a friend. Send it to your family group chat. Say, look at this idiot.
I think let's see if I can. I'm going to potentially get us some highlights on tonight's show. So
okay, I love it. Might as well.
But as I'm looking at that, I'm like, to answer your question about the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the U.S. Open Cup is incredibly important. But remember, we talk about the campaign. We talk about the stages of the campaign. And when you think about what's happening right now for this club, it's like, whoa, this is a real in-your-face trip to New York City, trip to Orlando, trip to Nashville, home against Atlanta United in Matthews. These are 4 matches in a row, not at the Fortress.
Yeah.
And when you think about that, knowing the history of this club, it's like, okay, like what's going to happen here? And really 5 if you go back to the fact that they played the Independence in Matthews as well. But you can consider those home matches. Let's consider Matthews home matches for sure. We should. Those are home matches for the crown.
I feel home when I'm there.
Exactly.
So are you saying that 9 games? You're saying 25% of the way into the MLS season is too quickly for me to hit the eject button and focus only on the cup? Is that what you're telling me? I should stick with the squad here with 75% of the season left to play.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I think so.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
What if we lose Zaha though, Johnny? What happens? Could Swiderski come back? If we sell Zaha, is Swiderski available? I don't know. Fuck.
That's what you're saying. Okay, let's take a look at one of these highlights if we can.
Please do. Yeah. Nice work.
Charlotte team with just 1 loss in 3 away from home. Ellis step over, trying to cut it to Ojeda.
First career assist for that guy Ellis.
Another beautiful goal from Orlando City.
The pro player pathway in Major League Soccer is thriving more than ever before.
Is it?
His first start, Justin Ellis.
Is that the toe poke that Dean's talking
MLS
about?
next MVP. An out 9. Comfortable with his back to goal.
I mean, first
He's had a
MLS
few
start,
different moments, but
MLS
he's
Next
been
Pro MVP.
Very confident with the ball at his
Where's
feet.
where's Berkemas? You know,
Orlando.
it's so fun. Like I mean, Aloko's recent emergence notwithstanding, and you know, Patrick Ajmong and Don Toklamati obviously did their thing, but like, man, it seems like other clubs just with regularity bring guys up from the next pro level and just have there's all these new boys just debuting all over the league. We never have them. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm being ungrateful there, but
I think tonight's the perfect example of just like young players on the pitch.
yeah.
And we just witnessed it, and I love to show another highlight if I could. I really would.
Yeah, of course.
and-
I don't want to sell Aloko short. I thought Aloko was so much better tonight than he got credit for. But yeah, hit me up.
Two initiative players
this.
from Brazil. Here's Thiago coming forward, getting to the end line. Thiago floating it. Taifi swing and a miss. Now Luis Otavio.
I mean,
it's in!
That's the toe poke.
That's the toe poke that being referred to. Yeah.
He's thinking about the toe. It's the first goal of 4. Dean.
Yeah. Right.
Well, for the first time,
Right.
all
And you
2026,
equalized.
we
So
saw
this
all
goal,
three
in theory,
Brazilian U22 start
really was the
game
least meaningful of
in
the 4. And
same
this is the one he
11.
cites as,
Brilliant solo run
you know.
from Thiago to deliver that ball back post. And Taifi swings
I
and
mean,
misses, but
Luka
this
doesn't
ball
cover himself
pops.
in glory here, unfortunately. I don't think it's his fault, but he is the last man in the frame kind of jogging.
I
Why
agree
not?
that Luka was late, but I
Inside the
also
foot,
think that at
outside
this
the
moment
foot,
there,
or toe poke,
the
it
ball
doesn't
needs to be
matter.
cleared. Where's the
Orlando
ball?
City
So much
are
100%.
time.
desperate to get goals.
So much time. And right
And they
before
get
this
one
highlight here,
from
Danny,
the
right before this
18-year-old
happened, Ashley Westwood had a big chance, a volley inside the box. So it went from a big chance for Charlotte to start the match, and then ultimately turned into a goal for Orlando, as it so many times happens that way, doesn't it?
It so many times does, and it's like that's a shank. Like their guy tried to he had the ultimate shank volley. He had like a Sunday beer league level attempt at the volley, and 5 seconds later they're celebrating because the ball's in the back of the net. That should never happen. The guy absolutely shanked his volley so badly, and no one in Charlotte is going to get that second ball. It's embarrassing. Like it's in our box. Go get it. Go fight for it. Put your head on it.
It's a disappointing night all around, and it was a huge MLS match tonight, Dan.
Right, but we were better. We were better than for long stretches. We were the better team, Johnny.
Yeah,
Can I just like just in general? That's how soccer works. By the way, the way soccer is that unless you are Barcelona in the La Liga or Bayern Munich in Bundesliga or one of a handful of clubs in the Premier League, soccer is about ebbs and flows. No team dominates for 90 minutes. In any soccer match, there are going to be long stretches where one team is the better side. That's just how it works. Unless you're when you're playing against the worst team in the league, I would hope that there would be some stretches where you were the best side. I would hope. So like you're putting stuff out there as if it's like this justifiable defense, and it's just not. It's just like stupid excuses, Johnny. And we called this show the mantra from the moment we woke up this morning was no excuses, and now all we hear in the post match is excuses. It's embarrassing. I'm pissed. I'm getting more pissed the longer, the less bourbon I have in my glass, the angrier I'm getting, Johnny. I can't understand why.
Well, I've got another highlight for you. It's something to maybe make you feel better, right? Just a little respite, if you will. It's a nice goal by Morrison Ajman. And a beautiful delivery here by Pep Biel.
Biel is just going to clip this one in, back post and in! Biel is just going to clip this one in, back post and in!
It's a great goal, Danny. It's a goal that, me personally, I think is one of the best goals of the season so far. You've got our ace to our big brawny center back saying, "Okay, we get down a goal. No, what we're going to do is we're going to take it back." This was a moment in the game that I felt like that Charlotte FC really brought it, and I don't want that to be lost in all of this.
Well,
that moment was another moment that we talked to Ross Smith about on this show, where the crown goes down. Can they answer? Can they professionally bring it back? And that was a professional goal that said, okay, we see you, Orlando. Thanks for your opening goal. We're going to cash in here, and we're going to tie it up. We're going to go into halftime, and we're going to play 45 minutes to see who gets the win. And like we've talked about earlier on the show, Danny, it was lost in that first, basically, 15, 20 minutes of the second half.
Right. The just an absolute flat effort of nothing coming out of the second half. In theory, it should have been, okay, order restored. We should not, we sacrificed the lead to a worldie from a rookie early on, and that was more than just a toe poke. That was a really nice shot. He shouldn't have had the chance to take it, but it was a really nice shot. And it's like you said, Johnny, that goal from Morrison capped off a stretch of like several chances in a row for Charlotte in that sequence of the match. If you were watching live, you saw like there was a corner kick, there was a shot on goal, and a chance created, and it started to feel like, oh, wait a minute, Charlotte's getting something together here. And like it was almost like Charlotte was like, we should not be down right now. We are going to go get a goal one way or another, and then we did that, and we took care of it. We just went and got our goal. And it's like, okay, match reset. We can do it. And you're thinking, okay, it's halftime. We're going to come out and be the better team on paper that we are and take control in the second half. And it didn't happen. It went exactly the opposite way. It makes you wonder about what happened at halftime. We never really, Dean made halftime subs against New York. That was mostly injury related, right, with Tim Ream. So that was 100% injury related. So it doesn't really get credit for it. Dean's always been slow to sub. And maybe, Johnny, it could be you and I's personal bias. I think you and I are on the same page that we like to see subs happen. We're men of action, Johnny. You're a man of action. I'm a man of action. We like to see subs be made if things aren't going right. And most managers, I think, are more conservative. I think becoming a successful manager, it tends to select for a more conservative mindset. So I get it why maybe fans want to see subs sooner than most managers are willing to make them. But in this, it's become a pattern and a trend, really, of Dean slow to sub. Latanzio was way too slow to sub, and Dean has not much better.
Yep. Yeah, and you've hit the nail on the head, but the Latanzio to Dean comparison is a little too far tonight.
I know, yeah. It's like you know how they say the first person to mention Latanzio loses the argument, right?
Yeah, but we all do love when he gets brought up.
Yeah,
we certainly do. I've really enjoyed hanging out tonight with the Tifos, with our tremendous friends of the show, with the soccer citizens. I do want to look at the MLS scoreboard and the table before we get out of here. But what else do you have this evening, Danny?
I think that's a good call.
All right, cool.
I mean, Columbus is currently up 1-0 on LAFC.
Yep. Look at this 4-4 thriller. New York City FC Cincinnati. I want to see the highlights there.
Why don't we ever get one of those? Yeah.
That's crazy. Wait, there's two of them. Look at all these goals tonight. Look.
So this is great because there's 2 4-4s and a 4-1. We're amongst 6 teams. We're the only one that didn't want to get 4 goals tonight. Pathetic.
And look, and Toronto and Philadelphia went and gotten 3. Got 3 for themselves.
Amazing.
Each. Orlando.
Wow.
Orlando, the only team there that really blows somebody out. Charlotte has the worst loss of the night. The Crown has the worst loss of the night. MLS. That's not ideal.
Atlanta United loses at home. Jeez.
That's bad. I saw our friend Ross down covering the Atlanta match, and I said, I thought to myself on the pre-match when I was watching, and I saw Ross in Atlanta. I said, man, that's too bad for him. That's too bad.
Yeah, it is. It is too bad. When you could come to Charlotte and you have to go to Atlanta, that's always a loss for sure. But yeah, Houston up on San Diego. San Diego is definitely not the same as they were last year. I think this Columbus LAFC match I'm watching is actually a rematch of some previous match. I just left the stream on. They are not playing each other tonight. Columbus is playing the LA. It's the LA Galaxy. It's the Galaxy. It is live. Okay, I just confused the Galaxy for LAFC. That's blame that one on the bourbon. It doesn't mean you should discount any of the brilliant things I've said earlier tonight, but that is a pretty bad mistake. It's a great league, Johnny, and I'd like to see. I would say overall, it's been a league. It's a winnable league. The East is gettable. The East is gettable. Results have not put this league out of our reach as Charlotte FC fans. I think it's certainly a league where there's a big bunched group that's all of similar talent levels, and it's about who shows up on certain nights and things like that. In the East, Miami's not as dominant as they once were. There's a lot of cracks in their facade, if you will, with Suarez showing he's older and Messi showing he's older, and them firing their coach because everyone there is an asshole, and it's it's not time to despair. One of the reasons when you're trying to tell me, Johnny, should I despair or should I not despair? One reason to not despair is that we're still up there. It's just a bad night. But I worry about being exposed as a team. I think if you look at our points versus our expected points, I bet we would be ahead of the pace per any advanced analytics that are out there, because I just know that Kalina has stolen us points. Kalina has stolen us 2 or 3 or 4 points already this season, and he wasn't able to do it tonight. And I just worry that what that bodes for Charlotte FC long term is, despite the ability to look good at times, are we really just a team that rides a hot goalkeeper and nothing more? That's what keeps me up at night and scared, Johnny. It's like when you talk about like your deepest, darkest, like what you go talk to your therapist about, what you're afraid to admit to anyone. You wouldn't even admit this to your partner about yourself. It's like, I'm scared that we're just a team that's riding a hot goalkeeper and actually sucks.
Well, at this point, I'll happily ride the hot goalkeeper.
Fair.
It's better than nothing. And Christian Kalina has an off night tonight. That's 4. How many times has Christian Kalina given up 4 goals? Not many times.
No, definitely not. I mean, as long as you're getting to go for a ride,
Yes. There is Charlotte on the table.
Yeah.
In the 5th position, and there's 2 matches going on right now, as you can see. And neither of them impact Charlotte. You could argue that the Inter Miami score impacts Charlotte, but
you know what? When I look at that table, Johnny, I see a big reversal of expectation, which is New England sitting up there near the top of the East.
And not the truth. That horrible season last year for New England, and a real 4 wins in a row.
Mm-hmm. And we go there in 2 Saturdays. It goes Nashville, then Atlanta in the Cup midweek, and then at New England the next Saturday after that. Wow. That was a match that I had chalked up as like, okay, well, we got an easy one, and now that is looking like a tough matchup. So it's just, you never know with MLS.
No, you don't. The East is looking good. It's looking strong. It's a great Nashville, Miami, Boston, Chicago, Charlotte, Toronto, New York. Like, that's what the MLS Eastern Conference should look like.
Yeah.
For sure. And the teams are out.
I think New York, New York let Charlotte beat them twice. You could say. I mean, not really, but they took a draw after losing us. So
for what it's worth, I do want to dive into this because it's the matchup that is following our show this evening. It is this it? LAFC Colorado?
Sunny?
Yes. Yes.
Sunny
yes,
season?
indeed. Yes, indeed. I just wanted to throw this out there. Like, if you're looking for, something to look at, it's obviously almost 10:45. It's getting late. It's a Wednesday evening. You're upset that Charlotte FC went down. We all have the Apple package to watch The Crown. So why don't you put on LAFC? See Colorado and LAFC. I think if I'm being totally honest, Danny, about what I love about MLS. Oh, we can see the lineup here. Let's see who's in here. Make sure that Sonny's playing. Oh yeah, he is for sure. Sonny is playing in the number 10 position.
Looks like no Buenga. But Sonny's going to have that ball all to himself. I love it. Even more reason.
No, Buenga's starting at striker there. He's right there at striker.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry, I was looking on the wrong side. Sorry about that. Sonny the 10.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
That could be a fun watch. And the thing about MLS that I love is, and that I also it's like a love-hate relationship with MLS, is I think with every club added to the league, the supporters' shield becomes less valuable.
Explain.
And the reason why is because the teams don't play each other. So I don't want to see some team in the imagine if Charlotte goes the entire season, has a great year, and then finishes in second behind a team they didn't play.
Right. Yeah.
It would be awkward. So the more teams come in the league, I think the East and the West championships means more than the actual supporter shield, Danny. That's my new hot take for the season. Is that actually winning your conference is what you want. That's the goal.
So what we need then is a title of a piece of armor that you would wear that is not a shield, but is something else. I'm going to call it the gauntlet. Maybe a helmet, but I call it the gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's like if you win your conference, if you win if you win both East and West together, it's the shield. If you win the East, it's the gauntlet. So you just we didn't get the shield, but we got the gauntlet. And some say that's harder. So,
because you play all those teams, everybody plays each other, and it's also something that the conference
There's a double meaning of like run the gauntlet. Exactly.
Yes.
But a gauntlet is like a piece of armor you wear on your forearm.
Yeah. And this is all contingent on one thing only. I'm not just making this up. The more teams that get added, and the less teams that you play.
Yeah,
that's the beast of the East.
That's very interesting. I like the take because it's well reasoned and rationed. I think one of the beauties of the English Premier League is that you play everyone in the league home and home, and that's why winning the league means so much. And you don't need a knockout tournament. It's because everybody's already played each other and proven the dominance. And I would love to see similar dynamics working in MLS there, but MLS likes things a little more chaotic. So it's just. You're gonna have to if you want to make the case that the gauntlet matters more than the shield, I'm with you. I'm with you because you can block. You can do a quick block with a gauntlet. Maybe it'd take longer to get the shield up there, but it's a tough night. It's a tough loss. It's a tough way to go. It's points that I think we should have counted in our quiver of arrows before the archery tournament even started. But unfortunately, we now find ourselves, Johnny, with a target on our backs. It's not looking good for Dino. He's probably at his lowest status here since he took the reins. Ever since Dino took the wheel, he has had the benefit of the doubt, and I would say that's leaning more towards the doubt, closer and closer. I'm not saying he's on a hot seat, but I do think it's a little warmer than it was yesterday.
He's Danny Brams. I'm John Hayes. It's Soccer City. Thanks so much to the soccer citizens for hanging out. And I agree, Danny. And what that means is expectations are different now. This club has Wilfred Zaha. This club has Ashley Westwood. This club has Pep Bial. It has Idan Toklamadi. The expectation is to score goals. We looked at the MLS match day, and Charlotte was the only team that didn't score goals this evening in the Eastern Conference. Things are going to happen quickly, Danny. Saturday at Nashville, Tuesday at home against Atlanta, Saturday on the road at New England. All of a sudden, the MLS schedule is coming at you fast and furious. It's going to be a fun month of soccer talk here on Soccer City. And despite the result tonight, Danny, Morrison Ajiman, a great goal at the back post. Awesome moment for the young lad. We'll see what happens on Saturday night in Nashville. We'll be back this weekend for another episode, recapping the Nashville game. We probably won't be live afterwards, Danny, but we'll see you soon after that. And in the meantime, as always,
ride them waves, baby.
It's for the crown, baby.